Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about the 2020 U.S. presidential primary candidate race and where we currently are in the election cycle and what's currently happening with the primaries and the caucuses, and specifically looking at our road to November 2020 as a scramble of the 3x3 cube, synonymous to a Rubik's Cube, of American politics, of the American political state, of the American societal state, of the American cultural state, on purpose by the American people. All right, let's talk this through. All right, so there was a very important political event that recently happened, important to me, right, which was Andrew Yang dropped out of the race. Now, I think that was fundamentally incredibly important to America overall, because Andrew Yang had a saying. He said, not left, not right, but forward. And I think what's going to happen in November is we're going to choose a new candidate, and it's going to be Donald Trump, or it's going to be one of the 6 remaining people who have a chance at winning. And those are the same people who are currently in the debates. That's Biden, Warren, Sanders. That's Klobuchar, Buttigieg, and Tom Steyer. One of them is going to win. One of those 7, right? And we're going to go forward. We're going to go right. We're going to go much farther left, or we're going to go a little bit, or we could go much farther right, all right? But we're not going to go forward. We're not in between 2021 and 2024. I don't think this nation is going to go forward with any of those candidates. In addition to that, I truly believe Andrew Yang had a fantastic, really, really fantastic odds of beating Donald Trump. And I think this pack of Democrat candidates right now, they all have a chance of beating Donald Trump between 1% and 9%. They all have single-digit chances between beating Donald Trump. I don't think a single one in the pack has more than a 9% chance. And I don't think a single one of them has less than a 1% chance. Any given Sunday, right? So... correct. I'm trying to get rid of I say right as a speech, a repetitive speech pattern. Trying to get rid of it. Thank you for your patience. All right. So basically, you have this situation where we're looking at one of these candidates, and our chance of having a better future for America, that's turned to ash. We're just going to have whatever we get from one of these very, very bland traditional politicians. These, like Donald Trump talking about draining the swamp. These are all crocodiles. Every single one of these people is very, very comfortable in swamp water, right? It's just, these are all incredibly traditional politicians, right? And I do not think we are heading to a situation where we're going to be choosing from the lesser of 2 evils, but we're not going to be having any kind of a good or great decision. It's going to be kind of decision. It's going to be rough, okay? And no matter what Dem candidates you have, you're going to have between a 1% and a 9% chance of beating Donald Trump. Now, I don't think for a second that anybody who has Democrat in their heart, right, that wants to help people of intersectionality, that wants America to be better, that wants the U.S. presidential role to be restored. That's what I want from the Democrat Party right now. I really want the U.S. presidential role to be restored. And right now, I feel like that is the main problem with Donald Trump, is he is damaging the role of the U.S. president. I feel like that role needs a person with character in it, and I just don't feel like Donald Trump is demonstrating character right now. He just uses too many tools outside the box of a person who has character for me to say he is a person with character. It's a serious problem. I love the role of U.S. presidency, and I feel like he's doing massive, massive damage to the role of U.S. presidency. It's very alarming to me, and I want to see an end to that. So I didn't vote for him in 2016. I'm not going to vote for him in 2020, right? So I'm trying to determine who my best pick is, right? So, but I firmly believe whoever I pick out of this collection of candidates we have left, there's no more than a 9% chance it's a single digit chance. It's between 1% and 9%, okay? All right, as the facts stand on the ground right now, we do have an unpredictable, uncontrollable future, which changes things, right? So there's a possibility that one of these candidates could have some kind of an event that would gift them with some type of boost in their performance. We'll see what happens. But as the facts stand on the ground right now, it's going to be incredibly difficult for one of these candidates to beat Donald Trump, right? But America is, so that means that America is really, really, really determined to reelect Donald Trump. And I think that is the case. I think America is, and the reasons for this are incredibly obvious. I believe Donald Trump has done an absolutely fantastic job of putting a chicken in every pot. Right? There's a ton of wealth in America. Wealth is going up for a lot of people. And frankly, I even agree with Ronald Reagan. I think trickle down is very, very real. And when more people are wealthy, that trickles down and makes even people who are closer to poverty have an easier time to get wealth, or to get money, not wealth, but to get money. So the reality is everybody's doing better. And so, in my opinion, like Tom Steyer said in one of the debates, that they should come at Donald Trump on the economy. That's outrageously that I don't ever say that someone is. That to me is laughable. To come at Donald Trump on the economy, it seems like a ridiculously bad idea. The economy is rock solid. The problem with Donald Trump is he is attaching. He is taking a crowbar and prying character off of the role of the presidency, and that is incredibly dangerous to me, right? So I want to get correct. Sorry, I think we need to get that fixed. We just absolutely need to get that fixed. So, so I cannot give my vote to someone who is prying character away from the role of the U.S. presidency. All right. So why is America determined to give Donald Trump a second presidency? Well, you have the economy, right? Now, that's a huge reason, right? But I also think that America has to understand that when you have somebody who is clearly warping the shape of executive power, right? Every Republican has to realize if you make the executive branch so powerful that they're out of control, and that the legislative and judicial will have virtually no way to control them, that's not going to be great when the Democrats are in power. That's going to be very, very bad, right? So why are we going this way, right? Well, I am currently, this is brand new. This just happened in H2 2019. Me and some of the members of my family are now nationally ranked speed cubers. So most of you know them as Rubik's Cubes. The appropriate name is a 3x3 cube. They have 43 quintillion patterns that they can be scrambled into. And if you're a speed cuber, you scramble and you solve. You scramble and you solve, right? Well, what every president is trying to do traditionally is solve the problems of the American people, right? Put the cube into a solved state, okay? And I think what's happening now is that the American people understand that putting Donald Trump into presidency for a second term is going to put America into a scramble state. Absolutely going to put America back into a scramble state. Now, why on earth would America do that, right? Well, for speed cubers, scrambling and solving is fun, right? And boy, that's a bad pattern. By the way, the reason why I'm very aware of it is people on YouTube tell me about it constantly. Like, it's half my comments. It's not half my comments, but a lot people just will not stop reminding me that I have this verbal issue where I say right, and I try to fix it, but I apologize. It's a real, and I try, and I get patterns where I'll just say, okay, I'm just going to ignore this for a while, but then people jump in the comments and just constantly remind me that I don't speak perfectly. It's a little bit of a vicious cycle, and I try and try and try again, and the only question now is it better if I just keep saying right, because then I can speak smoothly, or if I try to fix this in real time? It's terrible. And everybody says the same thing. They're like, go to Toastmasters. I got a busy life. I don't have time for Toastmasters. Anyway, let's keep moving. Apologies. I really want to get rid of this, but it's part of my speech pattern. What I wish would happen is that people at YouTube would just stop telling me about it, but it's a thing. Apologies. So I'll keep moving here. All right. So here's the thing. I think we're going into a scramble state. And I think America is purposely scrambling the politics and culture and society of America. Now, why on earth would Americans do that? Well, it has to do with our incredible wealth and our incredible comfort. It's really, really interesting, right? Because people would be like, wait, what? Are you out of your mind? Why on earth would a nation scramble itself, right? Well, we do a lot of things that are bonkers. Americans do a lot of things that are bonkers. And a lot of things that we do today because of our wealth, specifically because of our wealth and our comfort, that we do as a nation, that other people would be like, what? Are you crazy? A perfect example of this is ripped jeans, right? Ripped jeans are huge now. Like, go to any public space, and if you have 100 people, there's no possibility you're not going to see a pair of ripped jeans. You might see 10, you might see 40 pairs of ripped jeans, right? And those are ripped stylishly on purpose. Can you imagine going to 1925 with dungarees and people who bought dungarees, jeans, out of a Sears catalog and saying, hey, let's take a razor to those and tear them apart? They'd say, what? Are you kidding? I just bought these. These are perfect. Why on earth would I tear them apart? And that's where we're at, right? I think America's like, you know what? We're rolling like kings. We're so far ahead of the rest of the world. We just had one of the smartest people ever tell us that he had figured out a way to give us all $1,000 a month and make sure that poverty was never a problem for the nation again. And we were all like, nah, we're good. Like, that's fine. We can keep a certain level of people in America at the poverty level. The whole nation, like, as a body, decided that. That to me is astounding and sad. But I think this is, as a speed cuber, solving and scrambling, I think this is what's happening. America is choosing to scramble the cube, and then they're going to resolve it. And that seems crazy to do that because there's human American lives in the mix, right? But we do things that all the time that are just outrageously crazy. And one of it, and honestly, I will say I've never torn my jeans ever. I've never bought when I buy a pair of jeans, I get a regular pair of jeans. They're blue, and they get ripped when they get ripped. Like, I don't take a razor to my jeans. That seems crazy, right? And that's the issue. We have so much wealth and comfort in America, we rip our jeans on purpose, right? And we are about to scramble the cube on purpose. And that's what a second Donald Trump presidency is. It is scrambling the cube so that we can solve it again. And I will say it's very, very interesting to have arrived in America at a point where so many people have so much, right? And there absolutely are people who have very little, but there is a safety net in America. Anybody who says there isn't a safety net in America is not paying attention. There is a powerful safety net in America. It could certainly be better. It would have been better under freedom dividend. But the reality is we're so far ahead that we had the solved cube. I think I think we pretty much had the solved cube. And now America's like, yeah, let's scramble it. Let's see what's happened, and it's truly astounding. And I just used the ripped jeans, but I want you to think about it. Think about the people in your life, right, who have a good life and introduce incredible risk, destroy things they own, hurt, do things that you look at it and you're like, why are you doing that? And that's exactly what we're looking at with the second Donald Trump term. Yes, there's going to be a chicken in every pot, absolutely. But we are taking the role of the U.S. presidency, and it is quite likely that some of these changes, some of the damage that's being done under Donald Trump may be irreparable. I'm hoping I'm wrong, and that's not the case. And everything that he's doing, everything he's warping and pulling out of shape from the role of the U.S. presidency can be fixed, but it may not be able to be. But I really think this is where we're heading. We're heading toward a purposeful scramble just to see what happens. Woo! That's a very, very interesting response to wealth and comfort from the American people. Very, Very interesting response. Thanks for letting me share these thoughts and ideas with you today. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.